Speaking of pathways, my dad started making the one that'll lead to the new Grivet exhibit.
In the wood section here, we're not going to put a whole lot of different animals just because we want to keep it kind of a peaceful walk through the woods. And then it'll further go on down, hook around all the way up at the bottom. So then visitors that are coming in the zoo have two different directions they can start to come up in the zoo at.
With the exhibit ready to go and the pathway in place, it's almost time to get the Grivets.
We used to have Grivets on exhibit when the zoo first opened, and it's just a monkey that we just kind of rotated off of exhibit while we were building other things. We had them loaned out to another facility. We've already moved them back in here to the zoo. They've gone through the quarantine process here to make sure that they've been vet checked and everything's good. Their health is in pristine condition. So what we'll do is we'll just simply catch them up, put them in a crate. We'll move them up here in the crates, turn them loose. They're probably going to come straight out and explore their new surroundings.
The Grivets are here in a temporary exhibit at the bottom of the zoo. First, we'll catch them here, and then transport them up to the new exhibit.
So they've been temporarily housed down here for just a bit, and we'll move them on up there. Once they mature, we'll give them a couple females and hopefully have lots of little babies born in the next couple of years. The best way to get them and to transport them, and the safest method really, is just to net them. So we'll go inside, we'll try to get a net around them, drop them into a transport cage here where we can take them up top. You can also dart them. We can give them some sleeping meds, and that would also work, but then there's also a risk with that every time you use any type of medication to transport something. So it's a lot easier, a lot safer just to put them in a net. So we're heading in, kiddo, right?
Eugene and Isaac.
Eugene and Isaac are the names of these two guys. Eugene and Isaac. I think Kashtan helped come up with those names. You want to grab, let's just do the smaller net. I think it'll be easier to maneuver inside there. If we need that big one, we can. So you'll notice in a lot of our exhibit areas, the keeper area has a double door. These double door systems just help us ensure the safety of the animals, make sure that when we're opening one door, they're not going to shoot out that door. So let's see, I'll let you go in first, I think. Take
Of course,
that in.
because I'm the one with
Let's
the
sacrifice
net, so.
the child first.
Hi,
Send it in,
babies.
make sure that the monkeys are not cannibalistic and going to eat her or anything. And
Okay, so there's always a little challenge, right?
obviously we got a crate here that's a little bit bigger than I anticipated. There we go. All right, so where we got monkeys? Got monkeys over here. So Kashtan, if you want to open that door on the crate.
Now the contest begins. Did I mention that netting monkeys isn't the easiest thing to do?
Grivets are super fast.
I don't know where they're coming from.
Oh, yes. After several attempts, Dad nets Isaac. He must wonder what's going on. Now to get him inside the transport enclosure. I hope it's that easy to get Eugene. And Dad makes his first attempt. Ah, complete miss.
Eugene 1, Mark 0.
One of the problems with furniture in exhibits is sometimes it can make things a little more interesting to
Hi, baby.
catch them. So we know his path is going to be right to my right most of the time.
Oh, you're close.
Almost.
You had a tail in.
So a lot of times monkeys tend to have the same behaviors when you're trying to catch him. So you'll notice he goes the same direction almost every time. And once he's in that corner, usually he goes to the right behind that enclosure there. So
He got him.
Mark 1, Eugene like 7. The 8.
It took a few tries, but Dad did it.
So we're just going to tilt it up here so we can see.
With both Grivets in the transport enclosure, they'll soon be on their way for a beautiful new exhibit for our guests to enjoy.
There we go. Eugene and Isaac headed to their new home.
While I put the nets back up, Dad loads the monkeys up in the Kubota. I'll be back in time to join him for the drive back to the top of the zoo, and then we'll release the Grivets into their new exhibit.
We'll start a new show Mark Bradley, Sweaty Jobs.
It's only our second season, and Dad's already trying to make his own spin-off TV series. Sorry, Dad, but this is Kashtan's Wildlife in the Zoo. To get your own series, maybe we need to catch monkeys a little faster next time around.
Yeah, sometimes it takes a little while longer to catch things, especially, again, when the furniture and stuff's in the way. If you're just in a room where there's no sticks and limbs and perches and things like that, it makes it a little bit easier, When they're moving around the perches, we have to move around. Obviously, you can't net on top of a perch, so you got to get them when they're on the ground somewhere. Some of it can become a game sometimes for some of the animals, not to get caught. Eventually, we win.
And with that, our little friends start their ride up to the top of the zoo. As we cruise up the road, Dad and I think about how much they're going to love their new home.
So we've still got some work to do on this exhibit. Once we turn them loose, it's not going to be open to the public yet, but we are go ahead and get them out, get them used to their surroundings and where they'll be.
After arriving up top, my dad carries the grivets out of the Kubota and into the exhibit. This will be the moment of truth. Hopefully, these two will appreciate all the work my dad's put into their new exhibit.
Set this up here. We're going to leave this inside. We get a few extra limbs and things in here, but we're just going to leave their crate in here with them. And the reason for that is that's kind of something that's safe for them. It smells like them. It's what we transported them into the other temporary exhibit in, and so it feels safe. It's a place that they can go inside and hide just a little bit if they're a little bit afraid in their new surroundings. So, okay guys, you can open that.
It appears that Eugene and Isaac are a little hesitant to get out at first.
Will the door stay open? No? Here, we can prop it open.
That makes sense. They've been through a lot and everything around them is new. But we'll see how long it takes them to get comfortable enough to venture out of the carrier.
So a lot of times animals are shy when they're being put into a new exhibit. Everything's new for them. There's new sounds, new sights, new smells. These small primates can be a prey animal, so for all they know, there's harpies, eagles here in these woods. And so you'll see them here in a bit. Sometimes they stay inside their enclosure for a little while. Sometimes they shoot right out, in the next few minutes. So that's it. So we're going to close this up.
Not long after we leave the exhibit, Eugene finally ventures out to explore.
Yeah, they're starting to come out now.
But Isaac, he isn't so brave.
One of the neat things about the zoo, and really the woodland section is one of my favorite sections of the zoo because it's not the busier part of the zoo. The hub of the zoo is down in the main portion of the zoo, and there's lots of visitors there. It can get kind of noisy there sometimes, but as you move up into the woodland section, it tends to get a little bit quiet. And you can hear the birds, and it's very natural and the sounds of nature. So I think it's a very peaceful place up in the wooded area here.
And finally, Isaac makes his appearance.
Here, grivets are an old world monkey, and the Cercopithecus, and they're also called pouch monkeys because they have pouches inside their jaws, so they can cram lots of food down in those pouches, almost like a chipmunk. So they can grab as much as they can in an area that's plentiful, stuff it all in their cheeks, and then take it to a safer place or another place that they want to eat.
I think Isaac and Eugene are really gonna like this new place, but right now they're sticking together.
They'll explore throughout the day, looking around at their new environment, listening to the birds, watching squirrels in the woods. All of that is enrichment, but it's a different enrichment than putting a toy or a puzzle feeder inside their exhibit. In my opinion, this natural exhibit is one of the primary reasons that so many of our animals are engaged in natural behaviors. Is it's an opportunity for them to watch birds, watch squirrels, chipmunks, things like that, listen to the sounds that are around them.